Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope everybody's doing really well going into this amazing weekend. It's been a great start to 2026 for me. Super ultra busy for me. But it was brought to my attention that Sovereign 2.0 is hard to get and selling out. And I was thinking, no, it's not. And then I looked into it. Yes, it is. That's strange. So we'll talk about this. And I was working on another video when this kind of was brought to my attention, and so I kind of reordered some videos on how I'm going to do it. I think it's timely, but I've got a lot of thoughts on this, but I also have thoughts on some other news that broke this week, and that is one of my predictions coming true. 1 out of 14 predictions actually came true in my last third-party panel predictions, but it's not even third-party, it's official MPG. It's the Hot Rod. So we will talk about this. Again, another 2.0 getting made, and I was thinking it was 2.0. I thought it'd be Fans Toys. Turns out it's actually going to be Takara. But we'll talk about this and more, a lot more, coming up. All right, so I first heard this on a podcast. 5 people working on this, and it is TF Marauders. Now, these guys, they talk about Transformers, really chill, laid back, and it's long form content, over an hour, and I like putting stuff like this on while I'm working on 20 other projects going on around here. I don't want to stop and mess with finding another video. But these guys talked about a lot of different Transformers, a lot of stuff that's coming up, and it was kind of fun. But when they got to the X-Transbots, the Abaddon, then they were talking about, someone brought up that Sovereign 2.0 is hard to get, and so this one might actually be sought after. This one might sell better now that Sovereign 2.0 is not there. But there was another alternate thought process that I'll refer back to in the future. But I was like, there's no way Sovereign 2.0 is sold out. Now, actually, they had moved on to like 4 or 5 other figures by the time I finished up all the stuff I was working on and had a chance to go search. I actually was over on BBTS canceling the rest of my Loyal Subjects mask, and yeah, I was canceling those. I've got, believe it or not, a couple Masters of the Universe things coming in. I'm gonna get Queen Marlena's coming in, and I think I'm gonna get the King Randor and stuff. So I don't want to have to pay for that. I just use the money that was going to be Loyal Subjects mask and just cancel that. Wait till I get it on ultra clearance, or just not get it at all. But let's type in Sovereign 2.0 on BBTS. What do you get? Notice the price point of $239.99, and it's sold out. And I was like, wow, that was a little bit on the surprising side of things. Then we've got, okay, so if you want to know if something is sold out, if Masterpiece Transformer is sold out system-wide, you go to TF Source, because TF Source prides himself on having the most premium pricing in the galaxy. And I joke, I jest, I do like TF Source. I still use them as a backup if I miss it at Show Z. But TF Source had theirs for $299 and it's sold out. Notice they also somehow have a pre-order for Sovereign. Is this one of those pre-orders to nowhere? Like, since they don't charge you to pre-order, then I don't think there's anything down. And this might have been a pre-order that was put in place 3 years ago. I don't know. But $299.99 is what they were charging. Now, I do want to say a few things real quick, though. Definitely not bashing TF Source. But I remember reporting, like, they were the first ones that had a price. And it was like $259, if I'm not mistaken. I thought it was $249, $259, something along those lines. But then at the end, they up it. And that's what happens. You get down to the last few, up it to $299, I guess. That's how it happened. Am I reporting it accurately? Now, at Show Z, it still says pre-order. And it still says, although it says sold out, there's a little red pre-order behind it, which I think means that they're processing all their pre-orders, and then they'll put theirs back up. Now, you probably won't get it for the $195 price point when they put it back up. And that's just the way business is. Sold out everywhere, and they might be sitting on 10 or 12 more, and they charge you a little bit more. Probably not as much as the other prices I showed you, but still, and I still get a kick out of saving $60 or $45 to $65 getting it from Show Z Store And thanks to everybody that puts TH and support the reviewer. But possibility more will pop up here. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I don't have any inside track on it or not. But why did this sell out? Now, I said in the past that this really wasn't so necessary. We really didn't need a Sovereign 2.0. They should have been working on 2.0 of other things like maybe their spotter or their hoodlum or something along those lines. Or not a 2.0 at all. Give us new characters. I mean, that's the first point, is give us new characters. Second is if you're going to do a 2.0. They did do a phenomenal job. It is superior to the first one, aside from the fact you can't put his cannon on his forearm. That's the only real flaw. That and the transformation is just not fun. It's just highly involved. But price you pay, that is the true cost of this, is the crazy transformations. It does look better from pretty much from head to toe. And they did kind of shrink down the treads on the back of the arms. They did clean it up. It does look a lot cleaner. The lower legs, just a huge, massive improvement, more premium look to it. And even the chest itself is a little bit more to the character. So, yeah, it's definitely an improvement. But one of my predictions was when this sells out, or when this comes into stock, people are going to be dumping their 1.0s for really cheap. It's going to be like, who can sell theirs the fastest? But it turns out the 1.0 is still in demand. Now, you guys know me. I like to be right, but I'll admit when I'm wrong. But I said this would go for about 150. And in all reality, they are going for about 125 to 150. And then people pricing it above that are just holding on to them. So that's kind of how it is. My ballpark of 150. But in my gut, I kind of felt they drop. You'd see a couple of them below 100. Just for a brief period of time when maybe there were like 80 of them on eBay and they were all fighting to just get rid of theirs, selling it for the lowest price. So I haven't seen sub 100 sell yet, but I have seen like 125. The 112 in the sold there is still close to 150. It's 112 plus 18 delivery plus tax. So 130 plus tax, like 140 probably. But yeah, those are the ones that are actually selling. These have actually sold. And with that hovering in the 125 to 150 range. And if you want to get a 1.0, this is a good time. So if you're like, well, I don't even want to spend 200 on the new one, maybe you roll the dice, get one closer to 100. Maybe you make an offer. I will also say this, and if you're on eBay, when you see the sold price, doesn't always mean the sold price. If they say, or best offer, sometimes they'll show you like a line through it and there's a price and you might think it might be cheaper than that, but that really was the accepted price. Other times it's just green like you see on there. And somebody had sent out an offer to, like the seller sent out an offer to a buyer, the buyer accepted it, but it didn't change the price, even though they did some sort of, it is sort of a behind the scenes deal. It didn't change the price, which is why I think it looks unchanged. So you can't 100% believe all the prices, and eBay is not as straightforward as it used to be. It used to be super ultra transparent. It's not as much anymore. And what are the prices of Sovereign 2.0s? The problem is that these are all from China. Now, I'm going to say this. What's the easiest way to say this kindly? Many of these, it says gift new. I thought it said grift. Grifter. A lot of these are not legitimate sellers, especially when you've got 5 with the exact same picture and the other 3 have the exact same picture. Why are they not showing the exact product? And why is it the same picture repeated? Yeah, maybe they're sitting on a stack of 50 of them. I don't know. But why is it different sellers with the exact same picture? There's a lot of stuff. I've done the red flags. It's probably time for a new red flags video, but I just don't buy a lot from China sellers on eBay because I've gotten burned so much in the past where you just get like a little trinket in the mail. You don't get your Sovereign 2.0 and it's 2 months till you get it, and they pick the slowest option, and it'll say on there estimated time to receive it. If it's January 9th, you're not going to get it till March 13th, and then you only have like another month to get your money back on it, and they won't even let you do anything till March 13th. So there's a lot of issues with ordering it like this. But yeah, I mean, you can roll the dice if you want to, and you pay more rolling the dice and possibly lose, but I'm just putting that out there. If you buy from China, get from reputable dealer. Reputable dealer would be someone like Shozi. Definitely very reputable. I've also done work with TF Direct, very reputable, and there's others over there, but those are the two I've worked with. Those are the only two I'm really going to put my name behind because I've literally have already put my name behind them. Now, I do want to go back to TF Marauders here with one more point that they had. And they had said that it's possible that Fans Toys will drop more of their 2.0 when Abaddon shows up on the market. It's very possible. And it's a tactic they've used in the past. Now, I'm not saying that they're getting into the whole held back stock, but if we see that, if we see the minute this starts showing up, the Extrans Plus one shows up and Fans Toys starts putting more out, even if it says pre-orders, then you know they've held back some stock, because last time they did that, it showed up 3 weeks later. So yeah, it's a possibility. It's a possible. They like to bot block. You know, Fans Toys loves bot blocking, and it is what it is. One last fun little picture that I clipped. It looks like Braun Hunk is going for more than a Sovereign 1.0. I just found it funny, and it's just the way the game's played. A lot of things don't make sense. A lot of stuff's not logical. I mean, you could say, well, no, it's logical because Braun is selling out, and he's a popular character or a main character that you would need, and Sovereign 1.0 is on the outs. I mean, there are logical aspects of it, but when you see how big and the size and then the original cost and everything of the Sovereign 1.0 versus Hunk, it is a little weird. It's a little funny feeling. Now we got this other 2.0. Now I would have thought we would have got Hoodlum 2.0. Would have thought we would have gotten the Spotter 2.0 from Fans Toys, but we are getting a 2.0. And it's funny too. It's called MPG 20, as in a 2.0 hot rod. Man, you just can't get all this stuff to line up better, can you? I guess it lines up just right. I think it looks good. We will do a little analysis of this. Here is the Shozi 1.0, and I guess this was the KO because it's got the blurred out. But look, so the chest was my biggest problem with the 1.0. Now I still have the 1.0, and I've got some other confessions to make here in a little bit, but I'll make those. The chest just looked like a rectangle. It doesn't really look like a chest on any action figure. I mean, the chest of the 1.0 does not adequately look correct. The 2.0 does look correct. The new one looks right. Takara did a better job. The new one, though, the line sculpt on the shoulders and stuff, it's a little too much for me. I kind of like the tune. They are getting away from Hypertune. If you do look at the rear, the spoiler, it's got a lot of detail on it that I think is unnecessary. I wouldn't have wanted them to do that. I'd prefer the smoother one. But, I mean, it is what it is, right? And then the waist is better. I mean, you don't have the 1.0 uniflap. You've actually got hiding hip flaps. You've got modern engineering in it. And, yeah. So this, as soon as it's up for pre-order, I'm pre-ordering it. Definitely going to get this. I'll probably get the KO2 so I can compare. And, well, I have confessions. Here's Hoodlum. I no longer have a Hoodlum. I had done an analysis, and every time I think I know what's going on, and I'm like, well, we're going to get a 2.0 soon, or we're going to get a new hot rod soon, and it'll affect the price. So I'll just let this thing go for market value, and it was just like a year ago, I think, but let it go for market value, and then I'll get a new one eventually. But I still have that sorry 1.0 to fill in the gap, but I also have Rodimus. So, what are the issues with the 1.0 version of Hoodlum? Well, first of all, I will say, I think it looks fantastic, though. It's a fantastic looking figure. It is impressive looking figure. But there is a guaranteed paint chipping on the hood of the car, and that's car mode. That's all there is to it. And no, his chest is not the hood of the car. It's tucked up in there. That's one issue. The limited range on his shoulders and stuff, which Takara will probably give you phenomenal articulation. But people complain about it. I don't pose mine in dramatic, crazy poses. So I wasn't too concerned about that. And so it didn't bother me. Bothers a lot of other people, though, the lack of articulation. But aside from that, I thought it looked good, and it kind of holds its own. And for a lot of people, especially Fans Toys fanboys, they're gonna say that the Fans Toys still looks better. Hoodlum still looks better than this new one, and they might be right. I just won't have it to compare. As for price, I don't really know. We've got here the Rodimus and the Hot Rodimus, and I don't know. I don't even know if they're are they officials or KOs. I believe these are both officials, but why would the sign be smeared off there? But I want to say that there was someone somewhere that got a hold of like 200 MPO9s that were damaged and re-engineered the parts that broke and put better parts in and upgraded them. And I hear those are really solid, those 200 figures. I don't know. I thought Show Z had those also, and that might be what this Masterpiece Rodimus is. But I mean, that was kind of a deal that happened years ago. I kind of wish I would have got my hands on one of those, but I didn't want to spend that kind of money. No telling what the new price is going to be. Now, I want to touch on one more thing. I am excited about the Hot Rod that's coming, the Hot Rodimus. I'm definitely going to be in on that. But I'm still reminded with the Fans Toys X Transbots thing with this whole Galvatron of Tesla. And what did Fans Toys learn from this? It's like I brought this up like 8 times now, right? Like broken record. But what did Fans Toys learn from this Tesla? They learned that if they are going to beat X Transbots, they've got to A, make a better product, but also B, be first to the market. And they weren't first to the market. Actually, in this case, well, this shows the 1.0 and this is TF Source, by the way, with the 1.0 and the 2.0 price when those came out. But we've got this one here, and this is Show Z. And screen grab might be a little fuzzy, but this shows Jansen versus Tesla. Now, Tesla had gone on steep discount, like down to like 120 or something, which a lot of people are like, nah, that's not steep, Mike. 120 is still a lot of money, whatever. But it went lower than the Jansen price, which I thought was interesting for a brief period at the Show Z. Now they're both fully sold out. People really are, they're kind of sad they missed out on Jansen because of the minifigures, which are cool, but I wouldn't really have, it wouldn't be that big of a deal to me if I missed out on the minifigures, but they are cool. But with that, X Transbots is a solid offering. I like them both. I just happen to like the Fans Toys 2.0 Tesla a little bit more. And I knew for a fact that we were going to get a better Tesla, a better Perceptor from somebody, whether it was X Transbots or whether it was Takara or someone. We'd get a better one than the 1.0 Tesla. Now the 1.0 Teslas, I think you can still get them for under $100. But I mean, this is all rhyming. This is all the same situation, all the same scenario. The only difference in this case is that Fans Toys beat X Transbots to the market, and they have dominated the market, obviously. All right, so what do you guys think about this situation with Fans Toys Sovereign 2.0 already sold out? Do you think there's some held back stock coming back? Are you one of those that's getting the 1.0 for a deal? It's not a steal, but it's still a deal. It's still way down from what they were selling for before they announced the Sovereign 2.0. And are you excited at all for our good dear friend over here, Hot Rod, getting a 2.0 itself? And I'm not a fan of 2.0s, but the market has spoken. The market. I have spoken, and the fans are happy with the 2.0 Galvatron, I guess. Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Have a great weekend. Teddy Hanger out.